And this was the scene yesterday in Phoenix. Protesters gathered, angry about the conditions at detention facilities and over the threat of upcoming ICE raids. More than a dozen people were taken into custody during last night's protests near the ICE office on Central.
And many of those people who were arrested appeared in court today. At least 2 protesters are still in custody, facing felony charges. Those protesters are accused of assaulting police officers. Tonight, Derek Stahl is live from the 4th Avenue jail with the latest developments on this case. What's been going on today, Derek?
Well, good evening. A total of 16 protesters were taken into custody last night, mostly on misdemeanor charges for blocking traffic, blocking the light rail, refusing to disperse. Right now, some supporters and family members have gathered outside the 4th Avenue jail, waiting for the handful of protesters who are still inside being processed. Now, among those who are still inside are 2 who are facing felony charges. Police say these 2 protesters physically assaulted officers and tried to prevent them from arresting other protesters. But at this point, the department hasn't provided many details on the cases. On the left is 21-year-old Jacob Bezkind. Activists say he sprayed an officer's helmet with silly string. On the right is 34-year-old Jamar Williams. Williams is actually an attorney. Tonight I spoke with a defense attorney about his case.
I know one of the guys personally. He's an amazing guy, a great attorney. It shocks my mind that he's charged with ag assault. I think it's absolute nonsense. The videos that I saw didn't show anything, showed him standing there and officers coming out and pulling him into them. So I think for sure that's something that being dismissed or
So last night around 8:30, demonstrators gathered near Central Avenue in McDowell to protest the Trump administration's handling of migrants in detention facilities. A group of protesters blocked traffic in the light rail. Lerman Montoya was one of the protesters who got arrested. He acknowledges that Phoenix police gave them several warnings over loudspeakers that they could face arrest, but activists chose to stick it out. But he also feels that officers were more aggressive than they needed to be.
I think the police, first of all, wanted to ensure the safety of the people, but also wanted to really diminish our voice and diminish our intent. And so by them pushing us that first time and shoving and causing people to fall and scrape their heads, and the second time pinning people down to the ground and even leaving one of my friends with bloody injuries on his forehead, I think that is just a little too much.
So earlier today, a judge dismissed the misdemeanor charges against 14 of the protesters. But an attorney tells me that was really more of a procedural move because there are still a lot of police reports yet to be filed. And he says he expects that prosecutors will refile those misdemeanor charges. Reporting live, I'm Derek Stahl for Arizona's Family.